Sometimes on our farm in Northern Portugal, we have projects, ideas and dreams that sit and wait. Time, with 2 small children and a full-time business with our channel to run, is pretty limited. And so it was with our composting system. It's been on the cards for months. And now that we've finally got around to getting it done and everything falls into place, we're left wondering what on earth took us so long in the first place.
So welcome back to the farm. A couple of days ago we had a huge clean-up mission where we collected everything that needed to go, we brought it up to the vegetable garden, we burnt what we couldn't wood chip, and it's now looking lovely and clean. Now the real work starts. I've got to get all of the pallets I collected the other day, bring them up here to make the compost bins. I've got to build the greenhouse, and I'm going to bring up some of the tiles from the tiny house up here so that I can make some raised beds out of them. It really is a lot of work, but I'm excited because John and I kind of tag team with editing and being outside doing work, so it's my turn to be outside. John's inside on the computer, Sawyer's asleep, Crusoe's here with me, and as soon as, and we're just going to crack on. I've also then, once the compost bin's finished, I'll move my compost pile from there into my bins, and everything up here is going to be ready for food production. So, hello, buddy. Anyway, let's get started. Crusoe, you going to help me move the pallets? Yeah. Come on then. What are we going to do today, bud?
Digging.
Digging?
Yeah.
Okay. What are we digging?
Water pipe.
Water pipes.
Ice.
Come on then.
Which one?
Let's go get the pallets. So, Sawyer's just woken up. Hello, love.
Hello, my darling.
I was just about to start moving stuff up to the vegetable garden.
Okay.
You going to come and help me out, buddy? Water. You'd like some water? All right, let's get you some water and get your brother. There you go. Everybody has been fed and watered. Is your barrow broken? Oh dear, you need me to fix it?
Yeah.
What happened?
Broke it.
Why? Who broke it?
Taba broke it.
Judo broke it.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Right, first things first.
Bye.
Let's start carrying pallets up to the top, I think. They're all just round here. Sawyer, by the way, is being very spoiled and strapped to my lovely cousin who's come to visit us from South Africa. If you watched our videos last year, you'll remember Nicole from when we built the swimming pool. It's a bit different this time of year, isn't it?
Much colder.
Yeah, we're definitely not getting in the swimming pool. Well done. You ready? Well done, Crusoe. You're so helpful. You having fun? Phew. Okay. Crusoe's gone to sleep, which means I don't have to carry him up and down, although that was very sweet. So I will crack on. The thing about being a mum is you do these jobs, but they're like full of interruptions. You're kind of in, out. Baby needs feeding, nappies changing, going to bed. If John was doing it, he would have had all the pallets up there by now. Anyway, crack on. So I need 9 pallets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, actually I only need 7. Anyway, I brought 9 up here. And they're all different sizes though, so I'm kind of trying to figure out if that matters or not. I think I'm just going to get them into place and start figuring out which ones we're going to use. This one looks like a good one because it's kind of there. That looks good, I think. If you haven't seen one of these before, what I'm trying to achieve is 3 bins that look like that. And how it works is you put your fresh compost in the first bin, so all of your your leaves and your waste from your house and all that in the middle, and then as it decomposes you move it down the bins so that the end bin has the most decomposed compost. So yeah, it's like a process. And actually looking at it now, I think I'm going to move it up there because over here there's a whole bunch of bamboo sticking out and I know that's going to mess with my compost. But anyway, so that's the point, is that you have this like stages of your compost. So you take the decomposed compost from the end bin to use in the garden and you keep topping up the middle one, and as it's kind of moving through its process of decomposition, you move it down through the bins. There you go, I got a compost bin. So the pallets aren't all the same size, so it's a bit higgledy-piggledy, but it's a place for rotting stuff, so I don't think that's a problem. It's got a kick-ass view. So the other big job for up here is building our greenhouse, which we ordered. I've just mapped out on the floor how big the greenhouse is. It's 3.75 meters by 1.85 meters, and it's quite a nice looking little greenhouse. So in my mind, it was going to look really sweet kind of in this corner, but we have an issue because above the greenhouse, or where I'm thinking it's going to go, are some really big trees. Now, I really love trees and I don't want to cut any more down, and so does John, but we have been looking at it thinking we're probably going to have to cut them anyway because they're making a fair bit of shade on the actual vegetable garden itself. But in my head, I can just remember last summer and how hot it was, and I keep thinking, well, we need some shade, otherwise everything's just going to get cooked. And if you cut them down, these trees will take ages to grow back again. So you're kind of, if you make that mistake and you cut them down, then you've got a really long time before you can fix it. So I said to him, let's wait until the summer so we can see what they're doing before we cut them down, which I think is wise. But then where do I put my greenhouse? Because if I build my greenhouse now, it needs to go on a concrete standing and have a proper foundation. So once it's there, it's pretty much there, unless you obviously move the concrete, which would be a pain. So I'm not sure, because if we put it under here, it's going to be very shady and it obviously needs lots of sunshine. I don't want to cut trees. I don't know what to do. If you've got any thoughts, let us know in the comments below. I don't think I'm going to get around to building it today, so hopefully you'll be able to give me some advice before I start building. So please let me know what you think. You could just move it away from the trees a bit. Anyway, let me go get John, I think. Came to get a snack and call in the big guns. Here he is. He's got his editing head on, so he's not really concentrating. It's been very reluctantly pulled from his computer. Sorry, my love.
I'm trying to edit a video.
I know you are.
What are you doing here?
Let me show you.
Okay.
So first things first, I've built my compost bins,
Okay.
but I need you to show me how to fit them together, please.
Righto. Is that where you want them, is it?
I think so. So this is my thinking. Okay, so come and have a look. I did originally put the compost bins over there, but there's loads of bamboo. I didn't want the bamboo causing a problem until we've dug it out. It's also not level. There's like steep slopes. So I moved them up one section
Yeah.
to where it's flatter.
Yeah.
It also made more sense to me because it's directly opposite the water source and it's in the middle of the garden. So it's easy to get compost out to wherever we need it to go, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm happy with where they are. Are you happy? No.
I think there's going to be... I was thinking that probably we put a staircase there. Also, there's going to be vines there.
But that's okay. The vines aren't a problem.
No.
They go behind the compost bin.
But then they won't get very much sun.
That's also okay for compost.
I'm not sure whether it is the right place.
Okay, where would you put them?
About where the wheelbarrow and the wood chipper are.
So that's where I want to put the greenhouse.
Yeah, so I think maybe having compost next to the greenhouse is probably a good place.
But look here. That's the mapped out of the greenhouse.
Yeah.
I wanted your opinion because there's trees, there's shade.
So I would put the greenhouse. I would maybe put the greenhouse long ways like this.
Okay.
Coming out from here, the picket fence across here, archway there, a greenhouse right here, and then next to the greenhouse, around about here, I would put the compost.
Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. We've just had a chat off camera.
Off camera, always safer.
Always safer. On camera though, what's the plan, darling?
We've got sun, it goes like this all the way around. We've got a big plum tree right behind you. I think we want to avoid the shade of that tree. So the greenhouse needs to come away from that.
Bobby?
Yes, buddy. And I think here would be a good place.
Yeah.
Somewhere around about here.
And we're going to put it this way when I was going to put it that way, which makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, long ways like this.
Yeah.
Picket fence along the side of it here.
Yeah.
And then next to the greenhouse, just because quite often, you know, you need the compost in a greenhouse, so it's a pretty handy place to have it. I would be saying that you'd want your compost right next to it, somewhere here.
Yeah.
That will let us have lots of space for staircase down to the wild swimming pool a little bit later on when we get around to doing that.
Okay, thanks, love. Okay, so after John's little visit, I think my plan has had to change completely. He is wiser than me with these kinds of things. But anyway, so I'm going to move the compost bin into the kind of ploughed area. The greenhouse is going to go over here, long ways. Because he's quite right, the sun goes like this. In my mind, it went like that. So there I am paying attention. And then I think I'm going to use some of this bamboo here to make stakes that go into the pallets to give them some strength as walls. Hammer that into the ground and then screw the pallets together and then wrap them in chicken wire and then move the compost. It's a big job. Let's get on with it. First things first, a trip to the knot garage to get a saw, some screws of my choice. I've got a measuring tape here. What else am I likely to use? A hammer and a 2-year-old. Come on then. Should we go to the knot garage?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we going?
Not garage.
Knot garage.
Yeah.
What's in there? While I'm in here getting screws and everything we need for the compost project, I thought I'd address something that's coming up quite a lot in our comments, and we so appreciate all of the comments we get. A few of you have been concerned about seeing Crusoe running around with tools, and I just wanted to reassure you that 9.5 times out of 10, those tools are his tools and they're plastic. They look really real. So I totally understand why you've all been a bit like, Crusoe's running around with something dodgy. But we've got, like, we keep this not garage closed. He's only in here if he's with us because this is where John's tools are. But his tools look really realistic. He turned 2 the other day and his godmother brought him a whole bunch of really realistic tools. This is his chainsaw, which he absolutely loves. It's so real it even turns on. And it moves. And he loves it so much he even sleeps with it. Anyway, also last week in the tiny house project, everyone was concerned he was sticking the pliers into the plugs. First of all, the pliers were plastic. The plugs are not connected to the electricity. We do teach him about plugs. We're constantly on him about safety. But he is a toddler. So I think, you know, you're sometimes going to see stuff in the videos that maybe make you go, ugh, but that's life with a toddler. You know, we're not going to kind of pretend like that doesn't happen, because it does. But please rest assured that we are watching him, and that most of the time when you see him with a scary looking piece of equipment, it's plastic and it's his.
Sometimes, quite often, you might see him with a hoe or a spade that's real as well. But yeah, with that exception, you know, we try really hard to make sure he's looked after and he's safe.
Yeah, this is real life.
He's currently chopping up the outdoor furniture with his chainsaw. Well done, buddy.
Anyway, come on then, I've got a job to do.
Hello, Crusoe.
Hello, Mommy.
Okay, so we've put in a few screws here right now.
Yeah.
That's going to mean that this structure is actually a structure instead of a few pallets, but it's going to rot. Those screws are going to come loose really, really quickly. So what we're going to want to do is get some metal brackets or something and just reinforce the joints. You're going to want to use that bamboo that you've been cutting just to stake it into place.
Hello, buddy.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, Crusoe.
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 Hello.
Whoops.
Whoops. Okay, so reinforce it with the
we're going to
stakes
want to
and
level
then...
it out.
Yeah.
Hello, Crusoe.
I'm thinking the levelling out, we can just push, because this is where we burnt on the weekends. Lots of lovely ash in there, which is good for compost anyway. So fill it in, level it with that. Then that's a good bottom for it, isn't it?
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Cool.
But there you know, it goes like that.
It looks nice as well, doesn't it? It's nice to have a structure up here. It starts to feel real.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, Crusoe.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, Crusoe. Yeah, and we're going to be doing all sorts of other bits and pieces with it. So,
Hello, Daddy.
just the beginning.
Yeah. So, John got us started this morning really nicely. I'm just finishing off. I think we've just got this last one to do. And then I'm going to try and level it out a bit and dig up a bit here, stick the bamboo stakes in, and then we'll have a compost in. And it's one of those jobs, you know, when you've had something lurking that you've been wanting to do for ages, and then you do it and you think, what took me so long? That's how I feel about it. It's really cool to get it done. Done. Now I want it all to look like those two at the end because they fit together so nicely. The rest of them are also like slapdash. But anyway, it is very rudimentary, but it'll do the job. What do you think, Crusoe?
No, again.
Again. I think that's a job well done, my boy.
Again. Harder.
Harder?
Yes.
Yes, Crusoe, I agree. Work harder. Okay, so please be kind with your comments and opinions of my compost bin because I realise it's not like amazing. It's also not finished and it's probably going to rot and fall to pieces in about 2 weeks, but it's the very first thing I've built on this farm. I say all by myself, but John did do a few screws in there, and Nicole helped me, so it's not really by myself. It's close enough. I do feel quite proud of it. Last job for the day, I'm just going to map out where we're going to put the greenhouse and bring it from the gate to the garden so that we're that bit closer to building it. And then I suppose that'll be the next job, as well as making some raised beds out of the leftover roof tiles from the tiny house. It's all getting so exciting. Should also think about getting some seeds in the ground. But anyway, one thing at a time. Soy has come to join the end of the day. Oh, my bug. Has it been a big day? When we built a compost bin. What happened, bud? Are you okay? Did you dig in your foot? Are you in the tree? What goes in the tree? Okay, I think let's call it a day. Oh, in the morning, that's water. In the morning, we will bring the compost over and come build a greenhouse. Well done. Did we work hard today?
Yeah.
No. Thanks for your help, everybody.
The tree. The tree.
See you in the morning.
The tree.
The weather has really turned in Portugal this week. It's kind of gone overcast, rainy, a little bit warmer though, which is nice. I built our compost bins but hadn't got around to actually moving the compost into them. So that is my task for this morning. I might just take off my nice jumper first. So, like magic, a bit of Newbies branding. If anybody would like to check out our branding, please head to our website. The link is in our description. But anyway, first things first, compost. That's nearly half the heat gone. So what we decided to do was just put a little bit of it in each of the bins, and as I kind of get the bins established, we'll get the sort of cycling through them a bit more, I don't know, the way it should be, because there's bits of it that are decomposed and bits of it that aren't, is not necessarily in layers. So I've tried to separate it as best as can, but otherwise we've just been getting it into place. It definitely needs more water, which is really interesting. So be a bit better with that and turning it more often. But now I'm getting it like to have a proper compost system, which is really cool. Exciting. what, we woke up this morning to like misty, cold and raining. As soon as that sun comes up, it's properly warm. So there you have it. Finally, I built my compost bins.
Finally, the compost is in place, which is fantastic. I'm excited to start putting it at the bottom of all of my flowers.
Yeah, and I'm excited to start putting it on my veggies.
For sure. And flowers is what next week's video will be all about, I think,
Wednesday, yeah, on Wednesday. We're excited to show you what John's been up to in the garden.
Mega.
Because, it's just a really cool story. So tune in on Wednesday for that, and also an update on the tiny house, which did come to a pause, but it's back on again.
Yeah,
so.
we have been working very, very hard in that tiny house. A note on the tiny house, last Wednesday's video? Yeah, the last video we released, which was on Wednesday, I talked to you a little bit about the challenges of taking that roof off, and I got rid of those beams and we replaced them with wooden beams. A lot of very, 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 and I say this with complete sincerity, a lot of very useful comments came in. They are always extremely helpful. Perhaps not this time, but certainly in the future, we've all learned something.
Definitely. So thank you so much.
Sure. So on that note,
I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah, next video is on Wednesday. Like I say, lots to look forward to there, planting and updates on the tiny house. Very excited to have you along with us for this journey. Please remember,
like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't already. It's completely free, really easy to do. You just need to click on the little subscribe button. Leave us a comment, obviously, as we just said, because we love hearing from you, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
We'll see you on Wednesday.
And don't forget, be brave.
Think big.
Explore.
Love it.
Cheers, folks.
Cheers.
Bye.